You guys did a great job. That feels like once or twice.
Jeez.
Nice job, guys.
Thanks, gentlemen. We appreciate you being here. Councilman Ketch, did you want to say a few words about?
Yeah, yes, I would. I just got the sound. I didn't hear a thing that had happened prior to you calling on me. But I want to welcome Troop 340 from Lutherville, Timonium, Maryland. And I just want to say that every time I go to a scout function, you read the paper and you read all the negativity. Once you've attended a scout meeting, Eagle Scout ceremony, you're leaving very optimistic about the future. And I want to thank the troop for coming down to visit us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ketch. We also have a very special occasion tonight, and that one of our own is retiring, and she's been with us a long time. I was going to call up our secretary, Mr. Boswick, to talk about Christy Gower, who is leaving us as of tonight. This is her last meeting as a county employee. You'll have to come back as a spectator.
As a concerned citizen. Mr. Chairman and members of the council and everyone who is here and those of you who may be listening to us, this is a bittersweet evening. We get to say farewell to one of our longtime colleagues who is retiring, Christy Gower, as the chair indicated. Christy started with the county in 2003. And she's been with the county council for about 20 years. She's really anonymous. She's the person that no one really knows because she sits as a receptionist and she doesn't get a lot of fanfare. She gets a lot of phone calls. And every one of those phone calls is people calling to tell us what a great job we're all doing here. She has a way and a manner about her that makes people feel at ease, and she puts them in the right direction with whoever they need to speak with, whether it be a council member or their staff or some other county department. And we've been very lucky to have her on our staff. I've been with the council since 2011. And I knew Christy in the law office when I was over there in the early 2000s. And it's just been a pleasure knowing her professionally and also becoming, friends. And it's going to be big shoes to fill. So I do have a council proclamation if you'd like me to read that.
Absolutely, Mr. Secretary.
So be it hereby known to all that the Baltimore County Council offers sincerest congratulations to Christy Gower, who is retiring after over 22 years of faithful and dedicated service to Baltimore County. Christy Gower began her career with county government on May 12, 2003 in the Office of Law. After wearing out her welcome there after only a few short years, Christy then moved to the County Council as the receptionist for the main council office in Towson, where she somehow managed to keep that job for the last 20 years. Throughout all the changes in council member offices and staffs over the years, Christy has been one of the constants on the council's central staff. Perhaps she has seemed anonymous at her post in the council's lobby, buzzing in all of us each day, but she has been much, much more than that. Christy has literally been the face of the county council for 2 decades, providing a friendly greeting to the council members and their staff, and especially providing a genuine warmness and friendly greeting to all the council's visitors as the first person they'd see when coming through our front door. Christy's wonderful attitude will be sorely missed, and we can all learn from one of her favorite Irish proverbs that sums up her appreciation of life. Do not resent growing old. Many are denied that privilege. And so, on behalf of the legislative staff and the people of Baltimore County, it is bittersweet that the council joins with those assembled on this Monday, November 17th, to celebrate Christy Grauer on her well-deserved retirement, to recognize her dedication to public service, and to wish her health and happiness. That's for you. That's for you. And that's for you.
Should we go down?
Everybody affiliated with the council, why don't we all stand in front of the dais?
Come on, staff. Now let's take it. Turn sideways. Everybody squeeze together until you're uncomfortable. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Chrissy, we'll see you around.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Catch.
thank you. Since I was unable to be here this evening, Christy, I want to congratulate you on your retirement and wish you all the best in the future. I also want to make the statement that, she sits out there alone greeting people. And, that job is not the easiest in the world. I'm sure that she has some people come in who aren't very happy. She has people calling on the phone who are displeased about something. But if you've been there, if you've heard her, she handles it like a champion. I mean, she is great. And I'll miss her. I know we all will miss her. When I first was elected to the council, I had the honor of listening to her answer a phone. So we've spent about the last 5 years working on her, working on her answering the phone, the proper way to do it. And so I took on my role as a teacher and helped her. And I think she's made tremendous progress. So anyhow, Christy, all kidding aside, thank you for all you've done. You're wonderful, and we're going to miss you. Thank you.
Don't drop your. Did you, Councilman Crandall?
Sure. Christy, I know how much you love standing up in front of people, so we have to keep you here for a few more minutes. I know you and I spoke privately a couple times today, and I tried to express my respect and admiration for you. And and I'll just be brief. Just good luck and God bless and Godspeed to you in your retirement years. You've deserved it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yes, I want to take exception to Mr. Boswick.
She's not anonymous. I tell you, Christy, no, it seems that way, but I tell you, it's not a time that I can walk by without stopping to talk to you, see how everything's going. And we're going to miss you, and we wish you well in your retirement and wish you nothing but the best. So make sure you don't be a stranger. Thank you. Sure.
And I don't know who's going to make the lobby as homey as you make it. And, you know, you're always that, as Councilman Jones said, when you walk in, you always get a happy smile. And as much as, you know, you've been through some tough times the last couple years with everything, and some of the people we get in aren't always in the greatest of moods, and I think you always seem to get them in a better frame of mind, that they feel like we actually care in Baltimore County government, and you've been part of that whole thing. So you add the warm and fuzzy to the front office.
That's a good one. Quick on her feet, too.
Councilman Marks?
Just to add everything, our central office staff has really been pretty stable the past 15 years. So we're losing one of the last faces that I can remember when I was first elected. Just to echo what my colleagues have said, you have been a force of hospitality in this office. You've been a pleasant greeter. You've also helped solve problems, and you've been part of a good team. So wishing you the best in your future.
Councilman Patoka?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I just want to say I had an occasion, Christy, today to visit a government office. It wasn't a county government office. It was a different office. I'm going to have it remain nameless. But the person at the front desk was outright mean and nasty. And I thought to myself, this is the person that greets you. And I think in our society today, especially recently, being nice and kind is underrated. But Christy, with you, it's always been rated, because it's always been rated as a valuable part of your character. So thank you for being so nice and kind to all of us when we don't have our best days, to people that are calling in. They may not be having their best day, but you always rate that being nice and kind to be your best trait. So thank you, and I wish you well.
Councilman Young?
Mr. Chairman, Christy, just to add what everyone else has said as well, while I haven't been coming through the front door as long as some folks here, your face has become a staple, and it will be jarring not to see you when I come off the elevator and through the doors. So thank you for being a kind face, and always coming through this door and into this council chamber, a good start to regardless of how the days turn out, but a good start seeing you there and having that constant demeanor and just welcoming atmosphere at the front of the desk. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Speech, Christy.
Thanks, Christy. Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of November 3rd? So moved. 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, journal is approved. Next is enrollment of bills. Bills 6825, 6925, 7025, 7125, and 7825 were passed by the council, signed by the executive, and are hereby enrolled. Mr. Chair, will you now read all bills for introduction, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. First bill for introduction is Bill 82-25, current expense budget 988 crisis hotline services. Next is Bill 83-25, Current Expense Budget Crisis Service Development Expansion Program. Next is Bill 84-25, Current Expense Budget Long-Term and Dementia Care Program. Bill 85-25, Current Expense Budget HSGP. Bill 86-25, Current Expense Budget Assistance to Firefighters. Bill 87-25, Energy and Sustainability Programs. Bill 88-25, Property Tax Credits for eligible port property. Bill 89-25, Bond Ordinance. And Bill 90-25, sponsored by Councilman Marks, Zoning Regulations, Honeygo Area Sidewalks.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir.
We have one appointment confirmation, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir.
First item, please.
Yes. The first and only appointment on the schedule is the reappointment to the Planning Board, Miss Emily Brophy, who I believe is Vice Chair of the Planning Board at this time. And I think Miss Brophy is here, yes.
Good evening, Ms. Brophy. Always good to see you. Hopefully, it won't be controversial, this reappointment. I doubt it, but did you want to just say a few words about your tenure on the planning board? And
Sure, thank you. I appreciate the time. Chair Ortel and all the other council members. My name is Emily Brophy. I've been serving on the planning board since 2023, and I am currently the vice chair since 2024. So I'm also the chair of this CIP subcommittee. Personally, I've lived in Baltimore County for 20 years. My family, we own a small business based out of Baltimore County as well with financial services and real estate. And I've had the honor of serving on several commissions through the council, as well as the Baltimore County Tourism Commission now as well since 2021. So I'm very active in the community, both personally and professionally. And I just would appreciate the opportunity to continue using my skills as an active member of the Baltimore County Planning Board. Thank you so much.
thank you, Ms. Brophy. Questions from the members or comments? Councilman Marks?
Thank you. Ms. Brophy, we worked together when I represented Towson. I commend you for your service and as president of the Towson Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be voting for your confirmation. I just have two points I would bring up, and I brought these up also with Mr. Lupka when he was nominated as chairman. The first was the planning board was going to look at revising its rules as we went toward the next comprehensive zoning map process. I think there were a lot of concerns about maybe how the deliberations were done the last time. And the second was the application of the neighborhood common zoning. The council has stated its belief that neighborhood commons is an effective tool. And for planning to never recommend it to be applied to properties just is confounding. So as we move forward to the next rezoning, those are two issues that I would urge you to look at.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll definitely talk to Chairman Halupka about that. And we're absolutely open to any conversations with you and any other council members as well before that process happens again.
Thank you. And two other points. So I withdrew my legislation tonight dealing with battery storage units. And I think that's something that the administration is going to look at. The state regulations and the local regulations that are already in place. Secondly, just looking forward, I think three of us represent the Essex Middle River area, so I think we'll be delving into the small area plan the next couple of months. But
yes,
thank the planning department and the planning board for their work on that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Councilman Jones, sorry.
Yes, Emily, Ms. Brophy, I just want to thank you for stepping up, for continuing to make Baltimore County better. So thank you. I've known you for quite some time, and you have been very consistent in your approach to helping where help is needed and stepping up. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
You are. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Ms. Brophy. Known you for a couple of years now. I think very highly of you, and I will be supporting your nomination. But I would like to just, now that Councilman Marks brought up the Neighborhood Commons zoning classification, I just want to point out, I don't know if it's the planning staff or planning board that has opted not to use that, that zoning classification. But I'll share. My colleagues know I'm a planner. I keep my credentials up, nationally certified. I do my continuing education, and it is my professional belief that Neighborhood Commons is a great tool for preserving open space. Would ask that both, I see Director Lafferty is here, would ask that Director Lafferty and Planning Board also consider that in your review of the next quadrennial zoning. That Neighborhood Commons is, to me, we've tried to create new tools for example, to expand affordable housing, like the mixed use overlay district and modifying the RAE classification. But on the flip side of that coin, I do think that Neighborhood Commons has great application moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the appointment? So moved. I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the reappointment of Ms. Brophy.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Okay, congratulations,
you.
Ms. Brophy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here tonight as well. Okay, we will now move on to final reading and vote of bills. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
The first bill for this evening, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 73-25. This is a bill submitted by the administration and also sponsored by Council members Marks, Council members Ertel, Marks, Patoka, Crandall, Jones, and Young.
Okay, I don't think we need Director Lafferty to testify because we've testified at least twice now, right? Are there any questions or comments from the members before? Oh, Councilman Crandall?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I thought you were pointing at Councilman Jones.
I was raising a finger, not that finger.
Oh, wow.
I was raising a finger. Never mind. So this, I just want to thank Director Lafferty, the administration, and my colleagues who have sponsored this bill. I've mentioned many times from this seat that our code does not always necessarily coincide with what a modern economy, especially one as fast-paced and as changing as our current economy is. And artisanal manufacturing, a maker manufacturing space, the code currently does not contemplate such a zoning classification or an allowed use in certain zones, and this is what this legislation does, and I'm happy and proud to be a co-sponsor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Yes, Councilman Catch.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, am I the only one not a sponsor?
At this particular moment, yes, sir.
Well, I want to be one.
You're
Yes, sir.
not. You're not
It's a great
It's
piece
too
of
late.
legislation, and so I want to make it unanimous.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
One is the loneliest number, Councilman Catch.
all right.
True.
Do we have a motion? I'll motion to approve Bill 7325 unless there's other questions.
I'll second it.
All right, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 7325.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Okay, Bill 7325 is passed. Next bill, Mr. Secretary, sorry.
Next is Bill 74-25. This bill is sponsored by the Chairman, Councilman Ertel. Zoning regulations, uses permitted in the BMCCC district.
This is this has been very similar to the 7325. It just gives a little more clarification to a project in the Overley area. Are there any questions from the members? No, I'll motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 7425.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Okay, Bill 7425 passes. Next bill, Mr. Secretary.
Next is Bill 75-25, also sponsored by Councilman Ertel, rental property inspections, authorizations, and enforcement.
And I think this one has an amendment. Is that,
It does. What the amendment is technical for the most part. Currently in the bill and in the county code that the bill refers to, 35-5103, there are several instances where the code official may enter a structure or premises to ensure compliance with subtitle 2 of the livability code, which deals with rentals, and then subtitle 3, which deals with owner occupied structures. What this amendment does is it places in a sense a third category where the code official may enter and inspect a structure, and instead of where it was in the bill, like I said, it makes it its own standalone third situation where the code official may enter and inspect. And that third situation would be, as the chairman indicated at the work session, to investigate for unauthorized rooming in boarding houses, failing to maintain the minimum fire safety standards, and unauthorized alteration or discrepancy in the number of bedrooms as reported by SDAT. So that would be now explicit in the code.
okay. Are there any questions about the amendment? I'll motion to approve that amendment. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Jones. Mr. Secretary, you want to call the roll on the amendment for Bill 7525?
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes, or amendments, is it technically amendments? What it says here. Are there any questions or comments from the members on Bill 7525 as amended? Is there a motion to approve Bill 7525?
I'll move it.
I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 7525 as amended.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch.
Aye.
Okay, Bill 7525 as amended passes. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your support. We have the next bill, 7625, was withdrawn prior to the meeting. And then next bill, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, next would be Bill 77-25, sponsored by Councilman Marks, Planning of Sewerage Projects, Property Owner Obligations.
Okay, did you want to?
Yeah, sure, thank
this?
you. And I'm going to also speak to the amendment. There is an amendment. Bill 7725 modifies the process for any property that does not have a failing septic system. Before the county executes a contract for the construction of the financial responsibilities for this project, the county has to identify any participating property that does not have a failing septic system and has to provide property owners with a full disclosure of estimated project costs, schedule of the anticipated assessments, and the financial responsibilities in a legal agreement in a form sufficient for recordation in the county's land records. There's an amendment being offered, and I appreciate the administration's support on this, that says the following, that a property owner may opt out of the system once a project is at 95% designed. So I think this is a really good amendment. I think overall it's a good bill. It's a bill that improves transparency during the sanitary sewer process, but also, I think, promotes choice.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Are there questions from the members? Or comments? Okay, is there a motion to approve the amendment?
So moved.
I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendments for Bill 7725. Aye?
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye. Okay, amendment passes. Are there any questions or comments from the members? If not, is there a motion to approve Bill 7725?
So moved.
Second?
Second from Councilman Jones. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 7725 as amended.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Okay, Bill 7725 as amended passes. After a lot of discussion.
No, and if I could I'd just like to thank all the folks who did testify for this, particularly the Perry Hall Manor community. I think this is an example of a problem that comes to our attention, or an issue that comes to our attention from a neighborhood that then gets a county-wide application. And I think the county law is better off because of this bill. Again, it promotes choice and transparency.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Okay, the council will now consider all fiscal matters. Extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on November 12th, 2025. The witnesses who testified at the work session are available to restate their testimony if needed. If a council member has any questions regarding a particular fiscal matter, that item will be discussed as a separate matter. I will now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 1 through 6. Councilman Patoka, did you?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to ask that fiscal matter 2 be separated.
Okay.
Yes. Fiscal Matter 1 is an amendment number 2 to a contract with Redgate Real Estate Advisors, LLC. Fiscal Matter 2 is an amendment to contract with Rummel, Klepper, and Kahl, LLP. Fiscal Matter 3 are 2 contracts for cleaning services for derelict buildings. Fiscal Matter 4 is a contract with Dakin Applied Americas Incorporated. Fiscal Matter 5 is an amendment to contract with CDW LLC. And Fiscal Matter 6 is an amendment to contract with Microwave Networks Incorporated.
Okay. So we'll vote on
Fiscal Matter 1 and 3 through 6.
excluding 2.
Yes.
Okay, and to the scouts, I just want to, this one might be a little boring, but Councilman Patoka separated this item because his wife actually works for the company that the county is awarding a contract to. So he's going to, what's called recuse himself from the vote, so he won't vote on this matter. So separate it so we can vote on that matter by itself, conceivably without his vote. So that's why we pulled that item out. And these are all fiscal matters, so these are all bills that have to do with different projects or expenditures that the county's making in different, either the fire department or Department of Public Works or the health department, something like that. So,
Mr.
Yes,
Chair, I'm sorry, I just
Councilman Crandall.
I can simplify what the chair is saying. We get to choose how the county spends your parents' money. And that's what fiscal matters are. We talked a little bit about that when we met this afternoon, but yeah,
Thank you for simplifying that, Councilman Crandall.
you're welcome.
So, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So I'm going to, as you've mentioned, my wife works for the firm that is noted in fiscal matter 2, so I'm going to disclose that to my colleagues, disclose it to the public. I'm going to not participate in discussion, and I'm going to abstain from the vote.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Patoka. All right, so
So is there a motion for Fiscal Matters 1 and 3 through 6?
So move.
I'll second it.
Call the roll.
Yes, please call the roll on 1 and 3 through 6.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Okay, so fiscal matters 1 and then 3 through 6 are approved. I don't know that there's any questions on fiscal matter 2 at this point, but did you want to, we have a,
Yeah.
we have a motion to approve fiscal matter 2. I'll motion it.
I'll second it.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Catch, for the second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matter 2.
Yes. Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Abstain.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Okay, fiscal matter 2 passes. We will now consider the remainder of the miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item.
Mr. Chairman and members of the council, whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than formal competitive bid, it is required that a copy of the contract be given to the county council and the nature and parties to the contract be announced by the secretary at the next legislative session following the award of the contract. There are 4 such agreements this evening to be announced. The first is a purchase order with K2 K9 Solutions LLC. This is for the replacement canines for the Baltimore County K9 unit. This company is the premier vendor and training organization for explosive detection canines in the county, according to Police Chief McCullough. And the total award is $34,965. Next is a purchase order with Biotej LLC. This is for the purchase of an automated extraction system that ensures consistent sampling, processing, high throughput, and compliance with EPA methods. This company is the only vendor the county has found that is capable of meeting the county's analytical and operational requirements. The award total is $52,086.52. Next is a supplier contract with Swank Motion Pictures Incorporated. This is for the purchase of movie licenses through this company. Recreation and Parks hosts outdoor summer movie series at their parks throughout the county, and this license ensures that Rec and Parks is in full compliance with copyright laws. Estimated 3-year amount of $40,000. And finally, supplier contract with Geiger Pump and Equipment Company. This is for the purchase of specialized parts and equipment for the county's watershed infrastructure. This company is the exclusive authorized distributor for these products that is needed in the infrastructure. The estimated 5-year award amount is $250,000.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So I think next we have Resolution 5125.
Yes, that is Councilman Jones' approval of the planned unit development known as Red Run Meadows.
Councilman Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, this is a planned unit development of 153 townhouses on Red Run Boulevard. And we have finally come to, number one, this is going to add much-needed housing stock to Baltimore County in terms of the shortage of housing here in Baltimore County. And the developer is I call him a developer, but he's been a property owner of this property for quite some time. He's not really what we would call a developer, but in this case, he is a developer. Even though he's owned this property, he and his family for many, many years. So they're going to build 153 homes. They could build a lot more, but it has extensive open space and extensive additional parking spaces, which is something that I find in a lot of the townhome communities, a shortage of parking spaces. And for the community benefit, he's going to make a donation to the 3 volunteer fire companies that service this area, which would be Glendon, Ricestown, and Liberty Road. Each one will receive $25,000 apiece. Any questions?
Any questions from the members?
Okay.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Before we
Oh,
move.
there's an amendment, I'm sorry.
Right, there is an amendment offered by Mr. Jones, and he actually just mentioned the amendment, which is the community benefit to the volunteer fire companies.
So you want to move the amendment?
Yes, I'll move the amendment.
Okay, I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendments to Resolution 5125.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, amendments to Resolution 5125 passes. Is there any questions or comments from the members on Resolution 5125 as amended? If not, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, second from Councilman Catch. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 5125 as amended.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye?
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 5125 as amended passes. Next resolution, please, Mr. Secretary.
Next is Resolution 56-25. This is a resolution to authorize payment in lieu of property taxes or pilot with LRO Apartments 4 LLC.
Okay, and then, so these are, we heard testimony from Director Hickey on these actually 56, I know we can't vote on them together.
Right, it's the next three, though, yes.
But, yeah, so the 5625, 5725, and 5825 are all related, just different aspects of, one is a pilot, one is an approval of a loan, and the other is authorize a payment in lieu of property taxes. So I guess it's two pilots.
Right.
So
One is with LR Apartments 4, and the other is for LR Apartments 9.
Right. There's two different buildings, and I think it's two different, not necessarily ownership groups, but different, I think it is actually ownership groups. So, and there's no amendments to this?
No, sir.
Okay, so are there any questions from the members on 5625? No? Is there, I'll motion it. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, great. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 5625.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye?
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Okay, Resolution 5625 passes. Next resolution is 5725.
Yes, approval of loan LRO Apartments 4 LLC.
Are there any questions or comments from the members? I'll motion this one again, Resolution 5725. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 5725.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Resolution 5725 is passed. Resolution 5825?
Yes, this resolution, similar to 56, it authorizes payment in lieu of property taxes or a pilot with LRO Apartments 9 LLC.
Okay, is there any questions or comments from the members? Is there a motion? I'll motion it. Is there a second? Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 5825.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 5825 is passed. Next resolution, Mr. Secretary?
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 59-25. This is a resolution to accept a donation from the Rotary Club of Catonsville related to Catonsville Community Park.
Councilman Young, did you want to say anything about it? Other than it's a donation from the Rotary Club to,
Very proud of the work on this. Apologize for my coughing spell. Other than that,
sorry to
I
catch.
hope I can count on your whole support for it.
I'll motion to approve it. We'll leave you out of it till you're fine. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 5925.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 5925 is passed. Next item, please, Mr. Secretary.
Next is Resolution 60-25. This is also a resolution to accept a donation, this from the Wawa Foundation to the Fire Department related to Community Risk Reduction Division.
Okay. Are there any questions, comments from the members? I'll motion to approve it. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Jones. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 6025.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall? Mr. Young? Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 6025 passes. Next resolution, Mr. Secretary.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 61-25. This is sponsored by Councilman Ertel. This is a resolution seeking to amend the boundary of the Towson Commercial Revitalization District.
Okay, yeah, and this was a small tweak to the Towson Commercial Revitalization District to include a piece of the Goucher property that we thought was already in it. So are there any questions from the members?
I'd like to co-sponsor. Do you mind?
Not at all, Councilman Marks. I appreciate your co-sponsorship. Is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Okay. Councilman Marks seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 6125.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 6125 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item.
Next, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Resolution 62-25. This is a resolution to approve the FY 25-26 agricultural preservation easement purchases. This is for introduction only this evening.
Great, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There's no further business, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so if there's no further business, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. As is customary, anyone who has registered to speak online prior to the meeting is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Ms. Belcastro, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we do have speakers this evening. Our first speaker is Sharonda Hoffman, who is on virtually, followed by Nicole Dvorak. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Dvorak.
Thank you. Who is also on virtually. Ms. Hoffman, you may begin your testimony when you're ready.
Thank
you.
Yes.
Before Ms. Hoffman start, let me just, number one, thank the Scouts for coming in today. Thank you so much. And I want to especially thank the adults who are investing their time in our young folks by being Scout leaders and helping to mentor these young men. So thank you so much for giving your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay.
Ms. Hoffman, when you're ready.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Council Chair Ertel and Councilman. I just wanted to, the purpose of me speaking this evening is in reference to the librarians who were let go, and then apparently were given their jobs back. And I do understand that the Board of Library Trustees are in charge of our librarians. However, most of their budget is our county budget. And I was a little dismayed of how we treat our Baltimore County employees. And I think there should be a better standard. My understanding is that there is no longer a HR director at Baltimore County Public Libraries. And I hope this is a lesson to everyone that we can't treat people just any way we want to, including people that come to the dais and are our county employees. So I do stand with the union in some of their grievances. I have attended some of the board meetings, and all of you are welcome to come tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock at House and Library, because they also have other things going on, including bed bugs at the North Point Library. So not only is there fear that you might just lose your job, there's also fear that you're bringing something home. And I just want to put that on record and hope that this council can use their influence to make it a better work environment for all county employees. Thank you and have a good Thanksgiving, because I don't think you meet again.
Thank you, Ms. Huffman. We appreciate you testifying. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker. There's no
Our next
question.
speaker is Nicole Dvorak, who is on virtually. You may unmute yourself and begin your testimony when you're ready.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Ken.
Great. Thank you so much. Good evening, Council Chair Urtel and fellow council members. My name is Nicole Dvorak. I've testified in front of this council a handful of times before, as well as some local budget town halls. I'm former branch staff at the Baltimore County Public Library and former BCPL Union Executive Board member. As all of you are aware, 14 part-time librarians at BCPL were abruptly and without warning fired last week. And then after some significant press and support from some or hopefully all of the council members, those staffers were reinstated. You've heard from me testify before what has been abuse towards library staff and the library union for years. As a strong and outspoken supporter of the staff union, I myself was repeatedly and without warning brought into meetings at BCPL. This is not a one-off, all right? This has been happening for years. A pro-union former supervisor of mine was brought into a surprise meeting with a former assistant director of the library who drove from Towson to Catonsville to specifically asked my supervisor if she had attended a library board meeting. My supervisor hadn't even said anything in that board meeting. She had simply attended, but in the eyes of the library administration, that could not stand or continue. The former assistant director was there to investigate and intimidate her into never attending another public library board meeting ever again. She resigned in 2022. The point I'm trying to make is that scaring, intimidating, and harming public library staff, managers and non-managers alike, has been the status quo, and it's been intentional. It's been going on for a while. This, the idea that this happened all of a sudden isn't just a one-time thing, and the people who are responsible need to be held responsible for what has been ongoing abuse. I want to thank the members of this council who stood with branch staff and asked that these staff be reinstated. And I also want to thank BCPL Union President Anita Bass for everything she's done for staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dvorak. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker.
Our next speaker is Mark Moore, who is here in person, followed by Anita Bass, who is on virtually.
Mr. Moore, how are you? Good to see you again. Been spending a lot of time with us lately.
Good evening. Yes, a great experience. I just wanted to thank everyone for their support on Bill 7725. Our community appreciates your support. I think this will do great things for our community, working with Department of Public Works, as well as future residents that will have sewer projects going through like ours as well. So thank you again for your support today.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Councilman Marks.
And Mark, it was a pleasure working with you and the many other residents on this bill. I thank you for your hard work, your detailed research. And I again thank the administration for engaging us and delivering, I think, a good product.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilman Marks, for your support.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. Belcastro, next speaker.
Sure. Our next speaker is Anita Bass, followed by Peter Richkes, who is here in person. Ms. Bass.
Good evening.
you have testimony.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. My name is Anita Bass. I am the proud president of Local 4538, which has Baltimore County Public Library workers and the Apple Store from Towson. I am here to request that the County Council take action to remove the current CEO of Baltimore County Public Library. I do realize this is probably not your job to do, but something has to be done. There has been serious and ongoing issues involving mismanagement, lack of transparency, and actions that have harmed both staff and public services. This last incident with firing 14 part-time librarians was atrocious. She bypassed the union, bypassed the Board of Trustees, and of course, I understand that you all did not know either. I encourage every one of you to come to the Board of Trustees meeting tomorrow at the Towson branch, because this needs to be looked at. We want transparency, and the leadership that we have at the library is not sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bass. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Ms. Bass, and thank you for your advocacy and being a voice for Local 4538 and to the librarians that were, I think they were laid off for a day before the libraries reversed its decision. I've had
It was 2 days.
4 of the 10 librarians that were laid off reach out to me. I was initially going to state their names, but I think for the sake of privacy, I'll just leave it at the number 4. And the others are certainly welcome to reach out to me personally or to my office. So I think everyone here knows what happened and how the timing of the decision was not optimal. But I think, we made the right decision in giving these employees their jobs back. But I will say, moving forward into the fiscal year 2027 budget, the council has the, typically, historically, will call in several agencies for budget hearings. Not all of the agencies, but several agencies. So, Mr. Chair, I would urge that the council call libraries in when we review the fiscal year 2027 budget that is implemented on July 1 of 2026, so that we understand, from my take of it, there were 79 positions that were, through attrition, were not going to be replaced, and there were 14 librarians left through that plan from years back. And so I just want to make sure that in the upcoming budget that we're not just, that we have an opportunity to discuss this, to have dialogue on it, and that we can offer some protections to the 14 librarians after July 1. And also we can have a better understanding on some of the issues related to central office and frontline personnel. To me, and this is just my take on things, and you'll see it from my staff, your best employees have to be your frontline personnel, because back office, central office, we don't always get to see them. But frontline personnel, that's the touch. So the librarians, their interface with libraries, well, I mean, back up, constituents, people that want to use library, the users, their touch of the library system is the frontline personnel. It's not the central office. So if you're beefing up your central office at the expense of your frontline personnel in libraries, then in my opinion, that's a poor choice. And so I want to understand how those choices are made in the budget. As I mentioned earlier, I went to a government office today, and the person at the front desk was very unkind. And now when I view that agency, I don't have a positive view of it. Now, that's different. That's just frontline personnel. With librarians, it's users that are children. It's users that are high schoolers. It's users that are older adults. And that touch needs to be understood and needs to be done with compassion, needs to be done with trying to help someone. And so, Mr. Chair, I know I talked a lot, but just the point I'm trying to make is that we review library's budget. And again, Ms. Bass, thank you for your advocacy.
Yes, Councilman Marks.
Thank you. Anita, we go way back, right, to the Northeast Advisory Council. And I just want to thank you for all that you did and have done for our schools and for our libraries. The decision is even more baffling when you consider that the library system received a 3.5% increase between fiscal year 25 and 26. So I agree with Councilman Patoka. This definitely needs to be a focus of attention. Thank you for raising the concerns. I thank the administration. I think the administration acted very, very swiftly on this, and look forward to continued dialogue on this.
And I would add that it'll be 13 positions because one of the librarians was due to retire in January. So we were actually going to terminate her right before she retired. So we will only have to fund 13 positions going forward. Okay. Next speaker, Ms. Belcastro.
Sure. We're going to go out of order a little bit, Mr. Chair. Ms. Richkes made a request about another speaker. I guess they have their testimony is together. So I'm going to call Mr. William Smith next, who is here in person, followed by Pete Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Smith. Oh, by Pete Fitzpatrick. Right. Okay. And then Ms. Richkes. Okay.
After two Mark Twain quotes, maybe I go with an Abe Lincoln one. Abe Lincoln suggested that it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So I apologize in advance. I may be fulfilling Abe Lincoln's prophecy. We are indeed grateful for Councilman Marks' efforts and the passing of Bill 7725 and its amendments. I would like to, though if I may, significantly quote from Ms. Lozati's email to Councilman Marks earlier today. There remain deep concerns that this project has suffered in its management. We are in the third DPWT director in a timeline that now exceeds 7 years. Apparently, much original information has been lost. As identified by multiple testimonies, the current director is not even aware of some facts of our project. Even in testimony for the county's amendment, Brad Kroner, Deputy Director of Government Affairs, was not clear on the type of projects their changes would affect. This seems to have become a project that somehow needs to get done and off the plate of the department, whatever, somewhat decoupled from the best practices. The dismissal of grinder pump concerns actually increasing the public health risk seems to have been virtually ignored. There have been many compelling concerns presented by multiple witnesses that have, candidly, never received even a partial response, let alone a full and measured reply. Grinder pumps clearly will not fix our problem, and looking at the future, they will only add to it. We are aware of this, that the suggestion to consider water instead of sewer is a heavy lift right now. We respectfully request that you consider a continuation of our project after the passing of tonight's bill and amendment. Perry Hall Manor should have a thorough field inspection to determine the current need. Previous analysis of failing systems has been found faulty, where several failing systems later passed with flying colors by licensed home inspectors, and one failing system was listed as an empty field. A civil engineer or a qualified company should be brought in to consult on the project that originally started as water and sewer. Please prove us either right or wrong. You are forcing this on our homes. If you had this many problems with a solution forced on your home, would you not want at least the courtesy of a deep review? I would respectfully seek answers to the following two questions, either in person tonight or from the appropriate offices in the next week. One, why putting in grinder pumps, statistically guaranteed to fail more frequently and increased risk to public health, is preferred over the septic systems that have been reliably functioning for more than 55 years across 130 different homes? Two, Why would we not consider water over sewer when it brings dramatic increases to public health on multiple fronts? It solves the public health concern much more effectively than grinder pumps, argue at least a threefold improvement. It provides the ability to add fire hydrants, a still greater improvement to public health. It will cost less for both city and homeowner. And again, for public health, it won't add to the already overloaded public system that we saw with the Baltimore Jones failure just the other day. Finally, it saves homeowners from facing the cruel and completely unnecessary dilemma of where current law requires we spend tens of thousands of dollars to connect to an existing sewer if our septic fails, even though simply moving the septic to another location in the yard would fix the problem. Public water both removes this cruel dilemma and frees up other areas in our yards to locate to when or if the septic should fail 20 or 30 years from now. So please, thank you, gentlemen, for your consideration, and very much thank you for passing the measure that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Ms. Bill Castro, so we have Pete Fitzpatrick.
That is correct. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
I had the Edmund Fitzgerald. Song 50 years ago.
You may begin your testimony when you're ready.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, members of the council, my name is Pete Fitzpatrick. I represent District 1 on the Police Accountability Board. As no member of the PAB can speak for the board as a whole, my words here today represent my own opinion, and the request I make is from me and on behalf of the citizens I represent. I come before you tonight to ask the County Council to revisit its 2022 decision not to provide the Police Accountability Board with independent legal counsel. Currently, the PAB receives legal counsel from the county's Office of Law. And my understanding that the council chose this route as a cost-saving measure, and I suppose it made a certain sense. The board needed a lawyer, the Office of Law has lawyers. It was worth a try, but an application I feel has worked against transparency in law enforcement. I do not question the integrity or the competence of the Office of Law's lawyers. That having been said, any number of saints, poets, and writers of prose have given the warning that a man can't serve two masters, and this case is no exception. The Office of Law has an obligation to protect the county government from liability and by extension, the political leadership from any controversy. And this obligation is largely incompatible with the goals of equitable policing. Law enforcement accountability to independent civilian authority is really new ground. Almost everything in it is untested and new. And in many ways, implementing these mechanisms of accountability is a bit like trying to build a plane and land it at the same time. You know, in this case, that means some of the actions taken by a police accountability board might need to be tested in court. You know, put simply, we can't know if the plane will fly without pushing the throttle forward and pulling on the stick. The counsel provided by the Office of Law with its split obligation just doesn't have the stomach for this. They know the best way to avoid ever losing in court is to never get called to the bar. And that strategy does indeed shield the county, but it stymies progress in terms of accountability and equity. So I have an example. So the PAB currently doesn't see any of the complaints that come to it. Complaints come to the board and are immediately forwarded to the police department without review by the PAB. So the PAB took up this question and received advice from the Office of Law that, that the board does not have the right to see the complaints that are submitted to it. Do I need to say that again? Because often I need to repeat that to people when I tell them. You can imagine my surprise if you've read this article in the Baltimore Banner, reference a complaint about an officer who traffic stops for 89% black drivers in the county, where black people represent a third of the population. It was almost embarrassing that this complaint came to the board and never had the opportunity to be reviewed. And that's the sort of thing that I have concerns about. What I feel is the PAB needs legal counsel that will look on options and make recommendations based on what works for equitable policing and not what might never be challenged. I'm not looking to shop around for an answer I like. I just really need to be able to tell the public that the legal advice in which the PAB acts is free from external pressure or conflicting obligation. And I just don't see how we can do that with the current structure. It's unfair to the lawyers of the Office of Law to try to serve two masters, and I feel it does a disservice to the interests of the public and in seeking accountability and equitable policing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzpatrick. Councilman Young, did you?
Thank you. Pete, thank you for your communication on this. Just full disclosure, Pete's the appointee for District 1 to the Police Accountability Board. Just a quick question. So just to, and I know we're going to continue this conversation beyond here. There have been complaints that you believe the Police Accountability Board should have reviewed, but instead they were sent directly to the police and you had no opportunity as a board to review them?
Yeah, so currently, if you go onto the board's website and click that link to submit a claim, that basically just forwards direct to the police department. You know, the legislation from the state says that the board will receive complaints. It doesn't, I guess, specify that review, but I feel like, personally, I feel that, you know, review of complaints that are submitted to the board is implied in that legislation. I mean, why else submit a complaint to a board?
Got it. Got it. Okay. And also, just so everyone knows, Mr. Patrick is a pilot, so the analogies.
No, I'm not a pilot.
My mistake.
Flight nurse. I work in a helicopter, but I couldn't fly it. I can guarantee you I get it on the ground.
Knowing how a plane works is definitely tied to your analogies, but I appreciate your concern and your role on the board. So thank you, Pete. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Young. Thank you, Mr. Fitzpatrick. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Peter Richkes, followed by Edwin Perez, who are both here in person.
Good evening, Ms. Richkes. How are you? We haven't seen you in a while.
I hope everyone is well. Thank you, Councilman. I'm here to add my voice to Pete's to urge you to provide the Police Accountability Board with what every effective oversight system requires: independent legal counsel. From the beginning, the Police Accountability Board and Administrative Charging Committee have received all of their legal guidance from the county attorney's office. But the county attorney's job is to protect the county and its agencies, including the police department, from liability. That is an unavoidable conflict of interest, and the result has been limited transparency, and it has undermined public confidence since the PAB was first created. As Mr. Fitzpatrick explained, because of the quote, advice of counsel, the PAB does not even see the complaints filed with them. When a member of the public goes to the PAB website, it has a clear impression that by submitting it to the PAB, their concerns or complaints will be viewed by the citizen members of the Police Accountability Board. Because of this advice of counsel, the PAB learned of the continuing unreasonably high rate of traffic stops for Black drivers in the banner, not through the process of the PAB. Pete referred to the fact that 10 days ago, on advice of counsel, the ACC was effectively told that they could not adopt even simple transparency measures. Specifically, the ask was to share public information from the ACC, nothing redacted or private, on the PAB's website. But no, on advice of counsel. When the same office that defends the county decides what information the public may access, accountability becomes secondary to risk management. Independent counsel would allow the PAB to review complaints, detect patterns, and make reform recommendations without being constrained by the county's separate legal interests. And that is why they were created in the first place. The council has the power to change this, and I hope that you will act. Thank you for your time and attention this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Richkes. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker.
Our final speaker this evening is Edwin Perez, who is here in person.
Mr. Perez, how are you? Good seeing you. I haven't seen you since the Nepalese event at Towson University.
Thank you.
There you go, you're live.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Baltimore County Government Council members and Chair. My name is Edwin Perez, and I'm speaking as a board member of the Baltimore County PTA Council and Chair of the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. I'm here because the National PTA has a clear foundational position to protect the safety and well-being of all children and families, regardless of immigration status. The lack of transparency surrounding the original Baltimore County Government Memorandum of Understanding with the U.S. Department of Justice directly undermines that mission. The PTA's platform is built on the belief that children need a safe, supportive environment to learn and thrive, both in their school and at home. The MOU introduces fear, shatters trust, and makes our entire community less safe. First, it destroys trust. The National PTA's policy is clear. Schools are safe zones, not places for immigration enforcement. This MOU creates a chilling effect that bleeds into all county services, including our schools. The enforcement of the MOU has the potential to make families afraid to enroll their kids in school, attend a PTA meeting, or even call the police for help. When families are pushed into the shadows, our entire community is less safe. Second, it harms children by separating families. The National PTA explicitly opposes policies that do this. A child cannot learn, and a family cannot thrive under the constant threat of separation. The MOU deal potentially facilitates the removal of a parent, leaving children, many of them U.S. citizens, in crisis. As a Baltimore County PTA Council board member and the chair of the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee, I must state that adopting the MOU with the DOJ is an equity disaster. It disproportionately targets our Black and brown neighbors. It tells our immigrant families and students that they are not a full part of a community. It trades their safety, well-being, and family life for federal grants. The Baltimore County Executive's Office said that this was about funding. The Baltimore County PTA Council asks, what is the price of a child's right to feel safe? The members of the Baltimore County PTA Council urge the Baltimore County Government Council to consider and adopt a new inclusive and supportive policy. The community will not stand by while this county breaks the trust. We work so hard to build every single day in our schools. We urge the Baltimore County Government Council to use its full oversight to reverse the damage of the MOU DOJ deal. We need transparency, we need public input, and we need a local ordinance that restores trust and truly protects all families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Perez, I want to thank you for providing your testimony today. In this environment, our current environment, it takes courage to speak publicly about this issue. So I want to thank you for having that courage, for sharing it. And it's an issue that's really, really important to me. I'm in the process of working on a pair of bills, companion pieces of legislation for introduction on December 1st, that it will address the concerns that you're bringing forward to the council. So I'm happy to discuss that with you as the bills become public. But thank you again for sharing your concern with us. It's something that is really meaningful and important to me.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Okay, and I think that may be all the speakers. I did want to acknowledge that Ms. Yara Sheikh is here. Ms. Sheikh is the president of the Library Board of Trustees, and she was here tonight to hear some of the testimony as well, and we appreciate all the hard work you do for the library and appreciate you being here with us tonight. Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order before we officially adjourn? All right. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, because that's coming up and we won't have a meeting until after. So be careful out there and have a great night.